What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Blam back in the building with another episode of the Shop Podcast. As you guys can see, we just have the three amigos today, so no guests, but you never know who might drop by, man. Everybody stops by the shop on Saturday evening. This is where you get all that good gaming news on this awesome Saturday evening. Shout out to everybody in chat. What's up, Luis Jose? What's up, Shonsu? What's up, everybody hanging out, man? Make sure you retweet that link. Let everybody know we're live here at the Shop Podcast. Come get that good gaming fix, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw this over to my right hand, man. Early, we got a lot to talk about. Although we didn't really get the news we expected this week, chat, right? But it still wasn't really a down week. We still got stuff to talk about. We always do here. But let me go ahead and throw this over to my right hand, man. It's been an awesome week, man. What you guys been doing? What's up, Fuzz? How you been, brother?
I've been doing pretty good. Been playing Diablo like the rest of us, and uh, hopping back into GT7. Just preparing for Forza coming later in October. But man, oh man, watching Twitter burn itself down and people hop off and go to Threads and other places. Just the usual, off and on Twitter week. So
Nice, nice. Did you go to Threads? Did you make one?
yeah, I haven't posted anything yet. I'm still trying to figure out how I can, make each one of these like websites work to my liking, or
Yeah,
post one place and have it, do the rest for me, kind of like
that
when I used to do social media for my company. So
that would be
we'll
awesome.
see.
Chat, did you guys chat? Let us know. Everybody in chat, if you have a Threads, drop it in chat or just let us know if you made one. I'm curious to see everybody here. Now, I don't use Instagram, right? I believe you have to have an Instagram account to
You
have a
do.
Threads, right?
Yeah.
You
So
do.
it's kind of linked, man. I don't use Instagram, admittedly. So if I went and made a Threads, I'm not even gonna lie, chat. I probably wouldn't even use it. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. As tempted as I am with the FOMO, because I do see people posting their threads and everything. Let us know, chat, if you made a threads, drop it in there just in case, anybody in chat might want to go follow you, right? That's what we do here. So anyway, Fuzz, man. So yeah, I know we played Diablo. We just got off Diablo right before the
Yeah.
show. You know what I'm saying? So we doing our thing there, but I've had a good week as well. I'm back to work, chat. So sorry about the schedule. It's crazy. Not as many videos as I normally drop on the channel, but that is going to stop. I'm going to end the drought. I will be dropping some videos. I'm working on getting those done this weekend. But shout out to you guys for hanging out with us, man. You guys are freaking awesome. Shout out to RSJ, Six Slayer, everybody hanging out, man. What's up, Pong? How you been, bro?
Man, oh man, it was a nice short week because I took the extra time off for 4th of
Nice,
July. So
nice.
I just had a 3-day work week, but it felt like a full work week. So work for me too is, starting next week, it's on. So it's slowly been ramping up, but next week it's going to be on. So I'm not going to be around social media much at all. I didn't even follow much of the news this week, even though there wasn't a whole lot. So yeah, it's definitely getting busy for me too. But I created my Threads account. I saved my name. I'm not gonna. I hate it because you do have to have an Instagram account. I got rid of
Yeah,
Instagram. I got rid of Facebook about 6 years ago now. Wasn't ever planning on going back. I know every place takes your information, but Zuck is on another level. I
yeah.
hate
That's
how
kind
much
of
information they
dirty. I
steal.
feel
They're all,
dirty.
bro,
Yeah,
they do it everywhere. And again,
they
I'm not
do it.
stupid.
Yeah.
I use an Android phone. It's taking everything. I know this, but again, voluntarily on a social media platform, I don't like to do it. But then again, I'm now a podcaster. I'm a content creator, so therefore, this is kind of a necessary
Right,
evil,
right. You
right?
gotta kind of,
Self-promotion is one of those
yeah.
things. So if Twitter dies, which I don't believe it will, Twitter is going to
No.
be my mainstay. This is the 1,000th death of Twitter already. So if it does die, I wanted to make sure I did have my spot saved. Unfortunately, Pong Soul is actually an Eastern name. So
What?
yeah.
It's taken?
There's a couple Pong Souls in real life running around out there.
Wow.
But I did get Pong dot Soul. So close
Okay,
enough. So
close
close
enough.
enough.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
close
That's
enough.
all
So
right.
so I reserved it. I don't know how much I'll be using it. I've been thinking about since I have it, maybe posting gameplay footage and
Why not, right?
screenshots
Why
there,
not?
right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that was that part of it. Social media this week again, yeah, as Fuzzy said, weekly now for Twitter, right? So whatever. But other than that, gaming wise, Took time off from Diablo a little bit here. I got really crazy behind the scenes on Monday and Tuesday this week. Even though I was off, I didn't want to jump into a game with everybody and have to hop out all the time. So I was just like, you know what? Take a break from Diablo this week. I've got over 120, 130 hours in, whatever it is. I'm like, let's take a break. Went and actually played some arcade Paradise, which dropped into Game Pass, and this has become my new addiction. Arcade Paradise, I've been selling this game all week here. I know a bunch of people have jumped into it now because I talked about it. Arcade Paradise is a cool indie game published by Wired Productions, who do a lot of indie stuff. They are really good over there as well. We don't think of them like the Annapurnas and the Devolvers, but Wired is awesome. This game is super cool. Got really good graphics. It's first-person view. You kind of take over a laundromat. Your dad forces you to take over his laundromat, which he basically abandoned. He's an a-hole, okay?
Yeah.
And he's a rich a-hole, and he didn't care about the laundromat in the small town anymore, so he gave it to you because he thinks you're worthless and wants you to do something with your life. It's set in like the 90s, which is freaking awesome. So you take over this laundromat, and it's got this economy system. So you got to do laundry, right? And you got to earn money. But what you wind up doing is opening up the back of the store, and you find that he actually has some arcade machines back there. And you start chatting with your sister on your old 90s computer. It's got dial-up and everything. It goes through the whole sound. It's amazing, bro. You start chatting with her, and she's like, what Dad doesn't know won't hurt him. Why don't you start cleaning up the arcade and expanding the arcade, right? And so you got to kind of balance between the arcade and the laundry, and you kind of got to get Dad convinced that you can run stuff, and it's got you actually your menu system is an old PDA that you pull out of your pocket. It's freaking so awesome because I had a Palm PDA back in the day. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. You can see all of your money. You can see your daily income from both the laundromat and the arcade. And what you wind up doing is expanding the arcade, buying new arcade machines, and you can actually play the games in the arcade. And the arcade machines are based on real stuff, right? So they just rip off old arcade machines, right? And make new games out of them, and they're actually, some of them are extremely fun to play. And the more you play games, the more popular that game is, the more money you make off of it as well. So like I said, it's a whole balancing act for your day. It's a sim game in a lot of ways, but it's really fun. And now I've expanded, like your sister's a part of the city council, so she can authorize expansions to the building. So you expand the arcade, and you got to go online and shop for your new machine, and then deliver your machine. You get to place it where you want to. All sorts of mechanics at play in this game. Really, really fun. You can get upgrades to the store. You can hire like an assistant who will empty out the arcade machine so you don't have to do that daily, collect your money for you, all that kind of stuff. Just really awesome, and found myself, that loop is addicting as all get out for me. It's not going to be for everybody, but I highly recommend it. It's in Game Pass. Go try it out. No risk. Go see what this game's going to offer you. Like I said, I've already had a bunch of people hit me up. Mav got into it. It's a really, really cool game, and if you got nostalgia like I do, you can even put in a jukebox, and they have 80s, 90s music like grunge, techno, with fake bands. But these bands are really, really good. I've already found like 6, 7 songs that I would legitimately listen to if I didn't know that they were just made up bands. Like, that's how good the music is too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool. So I played that. Go check that out. Then I also played Sword and Fairy Together Forever, which is it came out last year. You could buy it last year. Now dropped into Game Pass. This is an action JRPG made in China, right? Really, really well done. I am super impressed with this game. So if you're looking for an action old school, not old school because it's up to date, it's just a AA. It's not a AAA game, but some parts of it are absolutely gorgeous. The combat mechanics are fun. You do combos and all that kind of stuff. The monsters are sweet. The loot is good. Party members, story-wise, and all that kind of stuff that I've met so far, really, really intriguing. So I go check out Sword and Fairy as well. Sword and Fairy is in Game Pass now. Go check it out, download it. Man, I hope this team, now that they got Game Pass money, now that they got, because this series has been out over in the East for a long time.
I heard
They
about
finally
this.
came west. Yeah. Highly recommended. Go check it out. I hope this team does now step up their game and move towards AAA because this is special. There's something really special in this game that I really, really am enjoying. So another great game to go check out from Game Pass. And then finally, it's on sale right now, $6. I've been sitting on this game, watching it. This is a game that came out last year as well. Full price game. People who picked it up went like, oh my God, why did I waste my money on this game? But I've been sitting here waiting for it. It's finally $6. I was like, okay, I gotta do it. $6 for the series console version of Werewolf, the Apocalypse, Earthblood. Okay, listen, full price game. I understand why people were disappointed if you paid full price for this game. This is not a full price current gen game in any way, shape, or form. However, if you're like me, and you like 360 era craziness in your games, if you like a little bit of jank, if you don't mind that you spent $6 to go have some fun, go try Werewolf the Apocalypse. You could do a lot worse for $6. The game is set up as a stealth-based game, so each area in the base, is set up with different paths you can take. You as the character, you're part of this werewolf you're part of this group of werewolves, right? This pack who is eco-friendly. Okay. So again, story is like, okay, whatever. Anyways, but you're trying to infiltrate this whole, this big conglomerate that's destroying the environment and all that kind of stuff. So you go into these bases, you can transform into an actual wolf anytime, which helps your stealth mechanics. You can crawl through vents and all that good stuff. And you take out people like you would in Splinter Cell or anything else where you're stealth-based. You take them out from behind. You're only armed with a crossbow, silent kills, no weapons whatsoever. But let's say you get caught, which you do get caught often. The AI is stupid, but the way they've got them set up, you're going to be seen from time to time. The minute you get caught and they start shooting at you, you get hit by a couple bullets, you transform into a werewolf, and then it just becomes an absolute bloodbath. It is freaking awesome. You are tearing through guys left and right. Oh my God, you get experience points, you get skill points that you can put into different skill trees, power up your werewolf builds, all that kind of stuff. We just don't get werewolf games, and as you sit there and you complete, because each kind of setup, each kind of level is set up in different areas. That area is kind of standalone, so even if you alert that entire area, the next area you go into, they act like they didn't hear shit, right? So that's kind of the way it is. But as you get done shredding everybody as a werewolf and kind of look around at the blood everywhere and all that kind of stuff, it just brings a smile to my face. It reminds me of 360 games, and I was like, this is cool, man. So for $6, I'm enjoying Werewolf the Apocalypse. So that's been my game playing this week. Sorry it was a little long, but I was trying some interesting games this week. So
Awesome, man. Well, let's get into it, man. We got a lot to talk about. I mean, we didn't really get the news that we thought we were going to get this week, but it doesn't matter. We're rocking out here. We still got a lot to talk about either way. Shout out to everybody in chat. Poison, Masshole, Spider-Man, General Spartan, everybody hanging out, man. Appreciate you guys.
Listen, Spider-Man 356. If I'm playing some new crazy games, I want to talk about it. That's what this is all about. And I'm playing some crazy new games, so I just enjoying myself. And Masshole 1977 is one of the people that jumped into Arcade Paradise because he just said, "Damn you, Pongso," with this Arcade Paradise.
Awesome. We love it. Hey, man, there's a lot of good games that come out. Pong is my source too. Pong gets me into a lot of games as well too. I hear a lot about the stuff through you, Pong. A lot of Game Pass stuff that otherwise I wouldn't have looked into. So yeah, shout out to you, Pong. We definitely appreciate you doing that every single week, man. You always helping me out too, giving me a lot of cool gems that otherwise I wouldn't have found. But shout out to everybody in chat. You guys are awesome, man. Let's get into this, man. Let's start with our poll of the week. Once again, something that I do every single Monday on my Twitter. Go ahead and follow me there. All of that information is down in the description below. Shout out to everybody who's already following me there and taking part in these polls. Shout out to the over 400 people who voted on this poll. You guys are freaking amazing, man. Every poll is always a good one. I try and make these fun, man. So if you guys got any ideas, the DMs are open. I always tell y'all every week, let me know if you guys got any questions, ideas, anything like that. So the question or poll of the week this week was Spider-Man 2 is releasing later this year. What's the next big superhero video game you're hyped for? And I gave 4 different options. Chad, I had Wonder Woman, Iron Man, Black Panther, and Wolverine. And Wolverine actually won the poll 36%. Second place, Iron Man. Third place, Wonder Woman. Last place, Black Panther with 13%. So I've been dying to ask you guys, Pong and Fuzz. We'll start off with you guys. Obviously, chat. Let us know what game you guys looking forward to, even if it's not on the list. Maybe you guys have heard something about some other superhero game that we're unaware of. Let us know in chat as well too. But I'm gonna start with you, Pong, because I'm curious to hear what your option was. Did you vote this week?
I did vote this week.
Okay.
I did, and I voted for Wonder Woman. And there's only one reason why I voted for Wonder Woman: Monolith and the Nemesis system. I have a feeling they're going to implement the Nemesis system again from Shadow of Mordor, and that system is set up 100%.
Nobody's
perfectly.
used it, Pong. I don't understand why nobody's used it.
But that because they patented it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So only WB can use it. Right. So we haven't seen it again, but I have a feeling Wonder Woman's going to implement it. And I mean, they'd be dumb not to. It is 100% perfect for superhero games. It is one of the greatest, most unique systems that has been created in the past couple decades for video games, in my opinion. The Nemesis system, like you said, is underutilized because they patented it. So the fact that the Wonder, and again, I'm assuming a lot here, folks. We haven't confirmed this, but come on, why wouldn't they put it in this game? Everybody that I've spoken to, everybody in this community says the Nemesis system is freaking awesome. Everybody loved it in Shadow of Mordor, in the Lord of the Ring games that Monolith did. So why not use it here? I'm excited to see an upgraded version of the Nemesis system. I love Wonder Woman as a character. I think she's freaking awesome. Sure, absolutely Wolverine. Really going to be freaking fantastic, of course. Iron Man, again, if they use the Anthem flying,
come on,
if they use the Anthem flying, great. Black Panther, awesome character as well. But Wonder Woman with the Nemesis system, for me, wins out in this poll. So that's why I chose it. Fair enough, simple enough. It is what it is. So I can't wait to see it, man.
Okay, in chat, let us know what you guys picked as well too. I saw some somebody said no love for Black Panther. Hey, you gotta vote, man. That's why I put up the poll. You got a Twitter account, you gotta vote. Let us know what you want to see. You could have voted as well, so let us know. But yeah, I would have went. I think so. Mine was a toss up between Wonder Woman and Iron Man. I thought about this. I did consider the Nemesis system. I also considered Anthem's flight mechanic. And I went with Iron Man on this one. I went with Iron Man barely. Barely went with Iron Man just because of that flight system. If EA has any brain, that's the one thing that they kept from Anthem because it was perfect. There's no other game that has been able to mimic that type of flight mechanic since Anthem. And mind you, they did that in 18 months? Mm-hmm. That was the one highlight of the game that everybody universally felt like, okay, this is insane. Like, we still have yet to have a game that, we have those type of flight mechanics that are that tight, that work that good in combat, that work that good in large open spaces. Like, it works perfectly for an Iron Man. And I think with the different suits, the different type of enemies you can have, chat, come on. I know you guys with me on this. I mean, Iron Man has a pretty extensive rogue gallery. It's not quite Batman, it's not quite Superman or Spider-Man type rogue gallery, but he has a lot of cool enemies that he can fight as well too. So maybe you get RDJ on board, maybe you get him to do the voice possibly. I don't know, but we know these games are coming. So I got Iron Man edging out barely Wonder Woman. So where you at on this, Fuzz?
I also voted for Iron Man just because of Anthem and the flight mechanic, and it's like you said, if EA doesn't use it,
they're not going to use it.
Then it's a Doom
Come
project.
on, Pong. Pong. See, that's ridiculous.
They're going Unreal Engine, man. Watch,
what?
They won't use it. Yeah.
Is that the Umbra influence? He showed
That's
up.
probably
and all
the
of a
Umbra
sudden, now you talking about UE5. I'm kidding. We gotta time out Umbra in chat, man.
We're gonna get the excuse. Oh, we just couldn't make it work in Unreal. Watch.
No. Oh wow. Oh, now you backtracking on the UE5. See, Umbra, look at that. He can't even stick by it.
No, but that's the biggest thing. If they can transplant that Anthem mechanic, flight mechanic into that game, that makes the game, because it was like one of the first things that came to a lot of people's mind while playing Anthem is like, oh man, you finally a game where you can feel like Iron Man. I mean, some of the suits kind of look like that to some extent, but yeah, that's the big one for me right now. Wolverine, I'll probably get more excited when I see more of it. Right now, we only have the CGI, so I'm assuming it's still quite a few years away. Wonder Woman is that one that's been quiet. I know it's been in development for at least, was it 2 or 3 years at the
least,
minimum?
At least 2 or 3,
Correct.
yeah.
Yep, correct.
But I haven't heard much more about it. And the stuff that I have heard, rumor, take it with a grain of salt, is that Microsoft is trying to do something in that regard. Whether that means marketing or exclusive, I do not know. But Microsoft is all over that. But it's been quiet on that front, so I'll probably get more excited when that one shows more details. But the Nemesis system, that would be awesome for that, because
it's going to be awesome, man.
They haven't used it in any games in a while, and that's kind of the fault of like WB right now, where they're worried about making money for those studios, and some of the stuff that would help them do that, they have yet to put out a game. And well, they put out Gotham Knights, and they put out, well, they're postponing, Suicide Squad, but they definitely need to release more games using some of their own tools and patents and whatnot. But yeah, I would say Iron Man on top. The Black Panther, the only thing that we heard was it was like what, Black Panther and Captain America or something with the
Did we
it's the studio that's going to try something different, which to me means kind of like either a twist the plot, choose your fate.
Was that one of the EA deals? Black Panther?
I don't know if it was EA. I think it's
Chat, let us know.
It's a studio that does movie stuff, like not Firespark, but it's something.
That's the other one. That's the one with what's her face writing it, right?
I can't remember any.
What's her dang name? God dang it! But anyways, it'll come to me. Hold on.
Yeah, but that game, we've only heard, what was it, D22 last year or something, that that game is even in existence, and no idea as far as timeline for release or anything. But I don't know if that's going to be a traditional video game in the sense of you're the one controlling the action. I get the sneaking suspicion it may be more of a like quick time event type of thing, but we'll see. We'll see when we get more info on it. But it's interesting, but there was so much limited info from the D22 last year. I'm hoping we get more info this D23 this year, and hopefully Star Wars is included in that. But I would like to have more info on the Black Panther and Captain America game, but can't really get excited until we know more about it. But man, all of them are awesome ones to look forward to, but Iron Man's at the top for me for the moment.
All right. I like the Wonder Woman idea too. I'm super excited about that game. By the way, I know I picked Iron Man, but Wonder Woman is that's one of the games I'm super excited about. The Nemesis system, like you said, Pong, that was the first thing that came to my mind. How could they utilize that with Wonder Woman? Her rogue gallery, and it's gonna be insane, man. I'm just really, really curious to see. And they need a W over there as well. They've been dormant for a while. Nothing really going on over there. Like you said, some delayed stuff, Suicide Squad. But, this is a huge win for them if they can pull this off. So hopefully they do utilize that. Now, I'm not saying it's like, it's detrimental to the game if they don't. Maybe they have some new ideas, Pong. Maybe they don't need the Nemesis system, but
no, they got to use the Nemesis. Come on, everybody loves it, man. Come on, I'm patented it for a reason. Come on, got to.
I'm with you on that, chat. I'm with you on that, chat. Let us know too.
Thank you, Jasper. Amy Henning. Thank you, Amy.
Oh, Amy Henning. Okay.
Yeah, and that Skydance is making that one. I think you were referring to the EA one specifically, right? PTK. That's what I assumed.
Yes. Because that's Iron Man, I believe, right? Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man is EA.
And Black Panther is also
and Black Panther
EA.
as well. That's what I thought.
Yes. Oh wow.
Yes.
EA. They announced that as well. Yep. So
correct.
That's going to be interesting as well too. But we'll see, chat. But that was a poll of the week once again. Shout out to the over 400 people that took part in that poll. If you want to be a part of that, every single Monday I put it up. Go follow me on Twitter. All of that information is down below. Shout out to everybody in chat. Once again, retweet that link. Let everybody know we're live here at the Shop Podcast. Come get that good game. And what's up, Riskit? My brother from down under. How you doing, my boy? So what's up, Jasper? Six Slayer, everybody hanging out with us. But I want to get into some stuff. I think I'm going to start a little messy this week.
Oh, just to catch up, Fuzz, real quick, since we're just here, right? Real quick. The EA one. Fuzz is that new Seattle studio that EA created with Kevin Stevens, the former head of Monolith. He formed a studio underneath EA in Seattle, and they're the ones that are supposedly making an open world Black Panther game as well.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so brand new studio.
I completely missed that. I only knew of the Captain America one.
Yeah, that was July last year when that came out. It was a grub rumor.
Okay.
Yep. So.
Okay. Well, we'll see. A lot of new studios out there, but consolidation is a problem. I keep hearing that. Anyway, we're not gonna get into that.
Yeah,
that'll go left. Yeah, that'll go left. Right. That'll
the
take
industry
the
is failing right now.
right.
It's totally a problem.
That'll take the show. Chad, I'm sorry. Chad. That was a bit messy. I shouldn't have did that. But we're gonna get into the real topic, right? The real topics here. So I want to talk a little about this Baldur's Gate 3 Starfield stuff, chat. Because I have been seeing this nonsense on my timeline. I don't want to disrespect Baldur's Gate 3. I want to present this topic in the right light, Pong, because it could get a little ugly.
What,
right?
bear sex? Let's go.
Ah, come on, man.
Huh? Come on. The shop's all about some bestiality and zoophilia. Come on.
Yet. Mav, Pong is trying to turn this into FSP 2.0 on Saturday.
Steele and I just talked about it this morning. Let's go.
What's up, Steele? I see you in chat. What's up, Ricardo? Yeah. But yeah, man, this is crazy. So anyway, right? Back on chat. Back on topic. Good Lord. Holy moly. This is ridiculous. Golly, what's going on? Anyway.
It's Saturday night. Let's go.
Oh, Lord. What's up, Blase? What's up, Jenkins? How you doing, bro? But no, yeah, back on topic anyway. Yeah, so this Baldur's Gate Starfield stuff, I don't want to disrespect Baldur's Gate. I want to paint this in the right light. I posted a tweet. It went a little crazy, right? Yeah, it did a little bit. It went a little crazy, chat. So just I've seen some people comparing. All of a sudden, Baldur's Gate 3 is getting a lot of attention. Now, this is no disrespect to Larian Studios, right? They're phenomenal studios. They make phenomenal games. The attention is a little strange considering they're trying to paint it in the light of Starfield versus Baldur's Gate 3. The only thing that's similar is they're RPGs and they come out on the same day. So let's please stop the comparisons. No disrespect to Baldur's Gate 3. It's a great game. I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal. Actually, what they announced, Pong, I was extremely surprised at how large the game actually is going to be. I didn't think I don't know much about Baldur's Gate, chat. I'm a noob. Admittedly, you might want to take over on this, Pong, but just the comparisons, man, it's a bit strange.
Yeah,
coming out of left field, and they're not the same kind of game, chat. It's a bit strange.
It's BS as always. I went on a rant this morning about this. This community always finds a way to do something nonsensical each and every week, especially when new games are releasing. So it started with the circus on the PlayStation side. The clown show decided that they were going to hold up Baldur's Gate 3, even though most of them, not all of them, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and believe that some of them actually did play Divinity Original Sin 1 or 2 or both and understand what type of game Baldur's Gate 3 is. But for the most part, I gotta believe that most of them don't even know what Baldur's Gate 3 is, probably never played Baldur's Gate or the originals, and don't even know what they're trumpeting here. But they decided to hold it up as the standard against Starfield because of the cutscenes. And look at the character models, look at the dialogue, look how much better Baldur's Gate 3 is. So it started there. Now, the circus on the Xbox side doesn't get out of this because we've got clowns on the Xbox side as well, of course. And they decided to start trashing Baldur's Gate 3 because they're having problems getting the co-op split screen to work on the Series S, which is now officially confirmed as the problem. Xbox engineers are helping Larian try to fix this. But because Baldur's Gate 3 isn't looking like it's going to launch at the same time as the PlayStation 5 version, now the Xbox clown show has to show up and start trashing it. Again, this is unwelcome behavior on both sides because this is nonsense, okay? Number one, Baldur's Gate 3 is gigantic. This is going to set the bar for CRPGs, turn-based, classic-style CRPGs. This game is now going to set the bar. I had no idea, PTK, that Larian Games had grown the way that they did. This team was 40 people when they created Divinity Original Sin 2, right around 40 people. Okay, Divinity Original Sin 2, for anybody who doesn't know, is considered one of the greatest CRPGs of all time. Larian Games taking over Baldur's Gate. Again, if you don't know the history of Baldur's Gate was made by peak BioWare back in the day, when BioWare was on top. Okay, that's why it's held in such high regard. That's why it's held with reverence of that era when CRPGs were all the rage, Neverwinter Nights, etc. You can go down the list of CRPGs back then. So the fact that Larian took over Baldur's Gate was a godsend to those of us that love this game. Now, I haven't been paying attention as much as I normally would because I didn't have a PC and didn't know it was going to come out to consoles until obviously they finally announced it. But the early access stuff, I watched some videos and watched some gameplay, but I wasn't really paying attention. So I thought Larian was still a small team here. No. Larian, I just caught up to this speed. I got up to speed here. Larian Games, as they were making this game, again, it's been in early access for 3 years on the PC, which is unheard of. They have basically made this game with the community, which is freaking awesome. They found out how big they were going to make this game and just said, you know what? We need to grow. Well, grow they did. They're now over 400 devs strong working on this game.
That's crazy.
This
That's
is a
glow up. Yeah.
This is a big time glow up for this genre specifically. PTK, you're talking about a AAA budget for what is a smaller genre. Like, yes, CRPGs are still very popular on PC. Consoles, they're starting to make a comeback now. But let's be real. We're not talking like 10, 20 million sellers consistently when CRPGs come out, right? That's not what happens. They are taking this to the next level. Baldur's Gate 3, Mav and I talked about this on PM. The PM, Steele and I talked about this morning. Baldur's Gate 3, now that I'm fully invested, because I wasn't planning on buying another game until Starfield came out, right? Starfield is going to take up all my time. I was like, as a budget, I'm like, I'm not buying another game. I'm just not going to play them. Starfield's coming out. Now that Baldur's Gate 3 has been moved up on PC side to August 3rd, I'm now buying this day one. Baldur's Gate 3 potentially could be in Game of the Year conversation, folks. And after watching that dev direct yesterday, where they broke down gameplay, where they went through and started showing how massive this game is, the actual what they're going for with actually be able to choose your path, that's said a lot of times in RPGs, but outside of Bethesda and somewhat, Obsidian, those type of makers, we don't really see impactful decision making. Larian's going to the next level and literally letting you play this game how you want to. You can actually kill off every single one of your party members if you want to. Okay? You can actually go ahead and you got hirelings. There's 12 different hirelings that you can hire to come on into your party. You can kill all those folks too. And you can still complete the game as a single player game. The amount of brutalness that they have in this game, you can play totally evil, you can play totally good, you can play somewhere in the middle. The world reacts to the type of class, the type of race you are. They went back and rewrote tons of NPC dialogue to actually have it so that it feels like a real world. So if you're a certain race or a certain class and you walk into somewhere that you're not respected, you're going to hear about it from the NPCs around you. That is next level stuff.
This sounds like an Elden Ring level jump for this particular genre.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Divinity Original Sin 2 had a lot of the markings of this in it. Larian took Divinity Original Sin 2 to another level for CRPGs. That's why it's beloved and considered one of the GOATs. They now said, well, that's not good enough. We're going to do more. What you become in this game, what you want this world to turn into, will be dictated by you and your actions. That's what they're saying right now. And from what they showed yesterday, I believe them at this point that pretty much you are going to be in control of your destiny when it comes to this game 100%. And the world is going to reflect that destiny depending on what you choose to do. So from minor decisions to big decisions. I didn't mean to get this deep involved in this, but this is Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm a noob. I need this information because I'm excited about the game, and I'm looking like a fishbowl. I got a fisheye lens at this particular type of game. Once again, I've never played CRPG, so just the everything I heard from the post, I haven't seen the breakdown like you did. They had a dev video or something that they
did like a 2-hour stream. Yep, it's
I need to go watch it for sure, but it just from the post that I read,
Yep.
2 million words of dialogue, and
Yes,
600 characters, and 12-man
like 170 hours of
170 hours of cinematics, and
Yep.
bro, come on, like that is insane. This is literally this is like going from what was before Elden Ring, like what was that Dark Souls, I would say, like going from Dark Souls to Elden Ring, like that type of jump. It sounds like.
Yeah, it's a different. It is a completely new scale of a CRPG, at least from what I'm seeing and hearing right now. Again, you're talking about CRPGs that, generally speaking, would never be considered AAA. They've always been in that AA realm. This is a AAA team, and they are putting together a AAA CRPG, which is, again, for a turn-based game in that type of genre, it's unheard of up to this point, putting this much work and effort into creating this big of a world. And I think it's going to pay off in spades for Larian. Remember, Larian was on the wish list for Microsoft.
They were.
Right? They were.
Yes, sir.
So,
I know
again,
we didn't get into the ABK stuff, but inadvertently they were on that list.
They were on that list, and there's a reason for it. Again, they are highly, highly decorated in this industry. A lot of people probably never heard of them until now. That's okay. Again, I think this could actually bring more people into the genre. And because of the nonsense out there, PTK, Doom Reaper brought this up in our chat on PM and the PM, and it was a good point, and it was something that I was thinking about, but Doom Reaper put it into words for me. He said, with the nonsense out there, and if PlayStation guys and the circus are going to push it this way, I hope they all go buy it, because that's just going to support Larry more. That's going to support Baldur's Gate 3.
Please go buy it.
Please go buy it, because if you guys want to parade that around that you're buying this game to stick it to Xbox, please do, because it's going to make this game that much more popular. There's going to be a bunch of people who didn't even realize what type of game this is, pick it up, and all of a sudden decide that they do like turn-based CRPGs because of how expansive this game is, how detailed this game is, because the freedom that this game actually does give you, they are going to fall in love with that, and that means better things for CRPGs and turn-based PC-style RPGs coming back, which we already have seen this happening. Yeah. The more successful this example of one is, because this is such a high-profile one, the more chance we're going to see more of these, not only on PC, but in the console space as well, which, again, you know me, RTSs, CRPGs, turn-based tactics games, strategy games, all have been underrepresented in the console space for varying reasons, most of the time because the control scheme is so hard. But now you've got all these companies coming up with new ways to make it compatible with controller, and this game is fully compatible with controller even on PC, that now we have these games starting to show up more and more in the console space, which is nothing but good for people who are console-only players out there who miss this genres, right? Who miss these genres overall. So again, I love this. Baldur's Gate 3, though, is everything that it looks, if it's everything that it looks like it's going to be, again, I think this could sneak in the Game of the Year conversation. I think this could be the big game that Larian needed to finally make people remember their name for once. And I think they've got something very, very special here, PTK. The comparisons with Starfield are nonsense, completely two different genres,
two different games,
way too different. Sure, they're both sandboxes, but they're sandboxes in their own unique ways.
No disrespect to Baldur's Gate, but Starfield, Bethesda's just on another level. We're talking about a different scale, a studio here, different budget, like
first person, third person action.
It's not the same thing. No disrespect to Baldur's Gate and Larian. I'm not saying that. I'm different lane, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 coming out. I will obviously be talking a lot about it. I'm picking up Steam day 1, August 3rd. I'll have about a month with it. Yes, I'm going to be running Diablo 4 Season as well, which is going to make things tough. But I am planning on getting into Baldur's Gate 3, so I will have reports on it if it lives up to expectations or not. But I believe, again, go watch that dev kind of showcase that they had yesterday. Freaking fantastic.
Somebody put the link to that in chat. So if somebody could drop that in chat, the link to that dev that on YouTube or something.
Yep. No, risk it. I held off on picking up Aliens Dark Descent as well. I will be picking that up later because, again, I wasn't going to buy it because I'm in the middle of Diablo 4, and I was just honest with myself. I wasn't going to have time to play it, and then I just thought I was going to roll right into Starfield. So, no, I did not pick that up. I will be eventually. But, yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be special. Everybody keep your eyes open for it. Again, the Xbox version will be coming at some point.
Yeah,
I have faith they're going to get it figured out. Again, there's questionable decision with the bestiality and the zoophilia. That was a head scratcher for me during the dev thing yesterday. They made a big deal out of it. It's a weird decision even in a fantasy world, and it's just okay, but at least it's a choice. You don't have to. So at the end of the day, So anyway,
no, but once again, this is a bit of a slippery slope because once again, you always run the risk of talking one down to prop up the other, or even sounding like you're doing that. So I don't want to do that. 2 different games, 2 different lanes. I do think the comparisons, the timing of the comparisons. Let me be a bit more specific. Is a bit odd, right? Considering that. It has come out as officially as that is the issue. The Series S is the problem, and everybody's kind of parading that around as like, hey, this game is going to be okay. Well,
garbage.
I didn't really hear much about that, a month ago. But either
And
way, please go support the game if you're going to do that. Support it with your wallets. Go help out Larian. I mean, once again, I'm not saying I'm jumping in day one. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I don't know much about it. I'd love to sit and watch somebody stream it, maybe on Twitch before I get into it, or maybe on YouTube. I'm sure there's going to be 1,000 walkthroughs and let's plays and things like that on this game. So
it's based on D&D 5th edition rules. Okay, this is a D&D game through and through. Okay,
once again,
so if you're familiar with that, you'll understand. There's even when you do certain, there's over 600 spells in this game.
That's crazy. Yeah, crazy.
When you go to do something, right, you've got to do a save throw, and they actually have dice rolls on the screen just like you would in D&D. You gotta have some luck here. You gotta make the dice saving throw, otherwise you will fail, which will result in a completely different outcome than if you succeed in whatever you're trying to do. So there's luck involved here, just like in real D&D. Like this is hardcore. This is not like something So this is why, because there's so many complex systems involved in this game. That's what makes this game special. Because again, we don't
Starfield.
see nothing. Nothing like so. And Decado, to answer your question, they said to mainline the main quest line is 100 hours. If you want to do side mission stuff and all that good stuff, they're saying 200 hours. For me, somebody who likes to do like searching and exploring and all that kind of stuff, I can easily imagine this is a 300 plus hour game easy. That's how big this game is.
Yeah, wow. It sounds like it. It definitely sounds like it's going to live up to it. And what's up, Risk It? But yeah, I get it, Risk It. I mean, wait till it comes to Xbox. That's fine. If you don't have a PS5, you don't want to play it on PC, that's 100% fine. But let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Fuzz. I don't know how much you've been paying attention to this, Fuzz, but this has been going on just really the last couple of weeks. It's odd. I mean, once again, you've laid it out, already, Pong. But ultimately, this is something that's been paraded around, which is strange. Even me being a novice to this genre, I even understand that they're 2 completely different games. They're nothing alike. They're night and day. They just happen to come out on the same day. And then obviously with the news that the Xbox version is going to be delayed till some date in the near future, hopefully, that kind of adds fuel to that weird, kind of, I don't know, that weird energy that's been paraded around. But where you at on just Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield? We don't really have to compare them, but just where you at?
Right. No, for me, I saw this coming a mile away when they were talking about it being an exclusive, and then it came out that Sony didn't pay for exclusivity, and then it was, if they had issue with the co-op split screen, and you could see the rumblings on the PlayStation side, like, we got another exclusive that they don't get, kind of thing. And the fact that they're chopping at the bit for Starfield, and they have this, so they're going to prop this up in comparison. Which games are games, and if it's your jam, then albeit. But I mean, for me, I wasn't really on Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't really on the radar for me. I'm not as much of the turn-based RPG type player. So, but it sounds like it's going to be an awesome game for those that are looking forward to it. But the silliness on Twitter is just that it never fails, and it always seems like there's always a different spin on things, no matter what. So if it's in someone's favor on PlayStation side, they're going to prop it up until it's proven wrong, kind of thing. But I don't know. Before it was there was another game, although now we have Stray coming to Xbox, and then they get Scorn coming to PlayStation. So those are swapping spaces, kind of thing. But it never fails. There's always a cherry picked item that is held over one group over the other type of thing. But and then the same people that are doing this and saying, oh, Baldur's Gate is way bigger of an RPG, and it's like, wait, weren't you the same ones that were crying that Xbox made it exclusive and it was taken away from you, even though you never had it to begin with, but it was somehow taken away, and the same thing was said about Redfall, and then they realized, well, Redfall wasn't quite ready to be released, so then they were like, oh yeah, that's Xbox's fault. But the clown show on Twitter never ceases to amaze. But I don't consider these games anywhere in relation in comparison to each other than, like you said, they come out the same day. They're both within the RPG, spectrum, just, different avenues, different, backgrounds or worlds per se. So it is what it is. For those that are going to buy it or play it, enjoy. Like Baldur's Gate seems like it's going to be a fantastic improvement over what they did with Divinity, what was it, Divinity Sin 2 or something like that?
Divinity Original Sin.
Divinity Original Sin. So it's like it's not for me. So I'll be nose deep in Forza and Starfield at that point. So I'll just keep it honest as far as Starfield is the one I'm looking forward to, and more power to those that will enjoy Baldur's Gate.
And once again, ultimately, and I'm with you on that, Fuzz. At the end of the day, if this is a major improvement over what they put out last time, this is a huge W. We need this genre to win. Like Pong said, we're in a renaissance period, people. What don't you guys get at this point? We're winning all around. This genre is being revived. Look at platformers. Look at the fighters this generation, or just really this year. You look at, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Like, these are genres that were not in great spaces. These genres are getting revived, and I love to see it. So please go support the game. I'm probably going to watch people play it. I'm really not into turn-based stuff either, folks. I'm not even going to sit up here and act like I'm going to just dive into this game and be like, yeah, I'm going to get it. And listen, I don't know. Like, I may be in a sale later on down the line. I might dip my toes in, but it's not something I'm jumping in right away. Starfield, even though as much as I don't really play, I'm not I don't play a ton of Bethesda games. I'm playing Starfield just because this is a brand new IP and it looks amazing, and I'm down for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that's more along my speed. So either way, both games are phenomenal. You're gonna have your choice. And let's keep it honest. We got to keep it balanced here too, Pong and Fuzz. If you want to play Baldur's Gate, you got to have a PC or PS5. It is what it is. You got to wait on the Xbox version. So it is what it is, if you want to play the game. So that's kind of where we're at this point. No complaining on this side. We don't really do any of that. But anyway, we're going to throw this over to you, Pong. Lead us into the next topic, brother.
Oh boy, you're coming to me, huh? I don't even know what I want to talk about, man. I was going to talk about some Baldur's Gate.
Freestyling, man. Freestyling.
I'm free. Yeah, I'm totally freestyling here. Hey, let's go here. I want to get you guys' opinion on this. We knew that Xbox was coming strong this year at certain shows, right? We had a feeling that they possibly could have a direct. They've been at TGS past couple, 2-3 years with a pretty big presence there. So we've gotten some cool announcements out of TGS, and they had already announced that they were going to be there. But Gamescom, of all places, Gamescom. Listen up, folks. Gamescom has been kind of not forgotten by any stretch of the imagination, but let's just say for Xbox, hasn't been a priority at all, right? Gamescom was one of those shows that over the past few years, they just really haven't, especially during the pandemic, it was one of the ones that they just didn't put a whole lot of stock into whatsoever. But now, all of a sudden, in 2023, and let's go back to the Giant Bomb interview with Phil Spencer and Matt Booty, right? Shout out to Grubb and the guys over there as well, guys and gals over there. Gamescom now, they were asking Phil and Matt Booty about, more directs, that kind of style. Where when are they going to show, are they going to have other showcases to showcase some of the games coming out, etc. And Booty jumped in and said, well, we've got, Phil had said that we've got more to show, right? We've got more to show.
Yeah.
And then Booty jumped in and said, yeah, and we've got plenty of places to show off games. We've got some more shows this year.
Quote unquote.
Correct.
Okay.
We got more. We got shows this year like Gamescom and like the Keeleys, of course, the Game Awards at the end of the year, and we might have something else. He kind of started insinuating they're going to have another early direct next year, but all of a sudden, Gamescom puts out a tweet that says Xbox will be showing up at Gamescom. Welcome Xbox to Gamescom 2023. And again, Gamescom is the 23rd through the 27th of August, I believe, over in Germany. And Aaron Greenberg quote tweeted that Gamescom announcement and said, it's been a long time. Excited to get to Gamescom. It's a big year for Xbox. Okay, Aaron. Yeah, we know it's a big year for Xbox. We've heard about Starfield. We know Forza is coming, right? You guys just had a huge showcase, 40-minute Starfield direct that blew everybody's socks off. Right? Yeah, we know it's a big year, Aaron. What are you talking about? Gamescom? Yeah, of course it is. And then you got Phil Spencer tweeting at Gamescom as well, saying, it's been too long since I've been there. Excited to show up in person. Yo, okay, so now we got the big shots all coming together in Germany at Gamescom. Listen up, folks. Now, I admit that this simply could be a Starfield hype train, right? It deserves it. That is the week prior to when Starfield launches, right? That could just be a big time push. They could be showing off Starfield. Todd might be there as well. They could be doing, a lot of, handshaking and promoting Starfield as the game it deserves. As big as a game as it is, it deserves that level, right? They are definitely making a statement that Starfield is our game. Like, it's coming, it's Xbox, it's Game Pass. You need to play this game. So it certainly could be that. But I don't know, guys. They've been kind of quiet because of the whole ABK deal for like a year and a half, 2 years now. Everything's been kind of under wraps. We talked about that tons of times. Like they had to go quiet. Like we weren't getting announcements. We weren't getting that hype train. It feels like they are back to business as usual. And that started with the showcase. And now it feels like they've got more to talk about. So, brothers, I want to get your opinion on this. Gamescom feels like everybody from Xbox is showing up there. I don't know if Sarah Bond's going to be there yet or not, but it feels like this is one of those times where it seems like they might have something to say. Something big enough that you get everybody from the upper echelon at Xbox together at this spot to start talking things. And so I'm going to start with you on this one, Fuzz. When you hear all this kind of starting to build up a little bit of hype for Gamescom or whatever else, and Starfield right on the horizon, and obviously Forza too. Forza's going to be right around the corner as well. But when you start hearing that everybody's going to show up at Gamescom, and you got Greenberg out here saying it's a big year for Xbox, do you think, Fuzzy, and if you've got any speculation, feel free. We are in speculation town, sir. The keys are yours. If you got any speculation on what you think they could be planning, any kind of surprises, secrets, do you think that's what it's all about, or do you think this is just Starfield and Xbox is out here going to be pushing it? What do you think, brother? Gamescom, big deal?
Yeah. Well, traditionally, it's not always as big of a deal, but they usually unveil the next-gen controller. So I'm kind of expecting maybe the Series 3. That has nothing to do with the people that are going to be there, but I kind of expect the Series 3. Now, will there be a custom one as well to go along with whatever they're going to unveil? Well, I think a previous Gamescom, didn't they unveil, I was about to say War of the Worlds. No. What's the RTS game? Crap.
Which one?
The one 4 Age of Empires 4.
Age of Empires. Yep.
It seems like it'd probably be time for them to announce it on console.
Yep.
So that should be there. I don't know if they get the special controller, but I would say they should definitely be there. But I'm thinking there's a controller and a game that we might be wondering about that will make an appearance there. And I can't figure out if it's something that we've never heard the project name, or if it's one that's kind of unknown, that's been silent for a bit, like your Perfect Dark kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a game and a controller shown along with the Series 3 at this event, but I'm torn between like Perfect Dark or something completely left field that we may not even know about, like maybe a secret project that was between Xbox and Ubisoft, or a secret project between Xbox and WB, or something along those lines. But I'm trying to think of any studios or companies out there, not necessarily publishers, but dev teams that are in that area that they could possibly coordinate, or that would be close. They would be part of an unveiling kind of thing. I don't think it would be an acquisition. I just think it would be like, almost like a second party type of deal, where it's like it's published by Microsoft, made by this other dev team, and it kind of wows us or surprises us or something to that effect. But I have no idea what that game could be, but I at least expect a controller.
Okay,
that would be underwhelming cool. As that may sound. I at least expect the controller.
Yeah.
I expect Age of Empires 4 for console.
Okay.
And then maybe a couple of other like updates on some smaller indie titles. Like I know it's been extremely quiet and it's just the one guy working on it, but what is it? The Last Night, or maybe even Replaced. Replaced is another one that's kind of silent as of late. And then you got was it Silk Song as well is another one, but I think those are like 2024 at this point. But still, those can make an appearance as far as an update on one of those, or no, because that's Somebody keep an eye on the people that do what is that game? Oh God, I'm having massive brain fart right now. The part 2.
Which one? Part 2.
But it begins with an S. What am I? In Russia. Well, the Stalker is in Ukraine. Stalker.
Okay. Yep.
Has anybody seen any postings from them as of recent?
No.
Didn't they have some gameplay footage recently?
They did an update, 2 months ago, I want to say. Maybe May, was it? Mm-hmm. Or April? They did a quick update and did show a couple new screenshots, and I think a little bit of gameplay, too. I think you're right there, PTK. I think you are.
So that might be the game. I mean, I know they're not located in Germany, but it wouldn't be too far of a travel for part of the team to possibly make an appearance there too. So maybe an update on Stalker 2.
Okay. All right. I like it, Fuzz. I like it, brother. Okay. I was not expecting the controller out of you, but hey, you know what? A lot of people are waiting on that. It would be pretty damn cool. So PTK,
yes, sir.
For you, again, it's not just Xbox, it's Bethesda, right? Yes. As well. They included that in there as well. To give some context, previously, last year, when Microsoft confirmed that they were going to Gamescom, they came out and said, hey, we're going to give updates on some of the games we showed for the 12-month plan, right? They said right away, they said they were going to have 36 spots on the floor for you to play some of the games, including like Pentiment and Flight Sim, Age of Empires 4 on PC, etc. So they kind of just said, hey, yeah, we're going to be there. We're going to update some of the games you guys know about, and that was it. This year it seems a little bit different. Right? It seems like there's a little extra spice involved. Again, it could be because Starfield is right there around the corner. It's a big moment for Xbox. We talked about it. Starfield being one of the biggest releases potentially in decades for Xbox. But for you, PTK, when you hear this kind of excitement from Greenberg, Phil, going in person, being there, we know what they just came off of with the giant showcase, with the Starfield Direct. Like the hype train was anchored for a while. Now it seems like it's been untethered, and they're kind of moving forward and pushing along. And obviously, ABK could be done at that point, right? They could have closed over the top everybody
That's
and
another
be
thing you
that
gotta
too,
consider,
right?
too.
So
That's another thing you gotta consider.
for you, PTK, what do you think? Is it just the Starfield stuff, or is it a little bit more? Is it you think you got some speculation here, brother?
I mean, obviously, if we just being honest, Starfield stuff, that's a given in my opinion. I mean, it's so close to the date. I do think there's going to do some advertising there. It is a big, it is so it's not everything, but it is something that they're going to be there in person, especially Phil, Aaron, people of that caliber are going to be there in person. That does mean something. Now, I know you just mentioned that typically they kind of give us an itinerary. At least last year, they broke it down to us right away. I don't know how close that was to the show when they gave us that information. Was it further out?
It was the beginning of August when they
okay. So we're not there yet. So they still got time. They might do that again. So that they're we might get that full breakdown. Okay, we're just gonna hear this is what we're gonna show you guys. No surprises or anything. But this year is different. Admittedly, chat, you got to admit this year is different. The energy behind Xbox, they're rolling in the Starfield coming off of that. The best probably the best breakdown for a video game I've ever seen in my entire life. You're coming off that energy. You got to build on that. So there's some things that they can do, right? They got some stuff loaded in the chamber. I think there might be some, there's going to be some like smaller stuff. I think we're going to see. I know somebody mentioned, I know Pong, not Pong, but Fuzz, you mentioned Replace last night.
Mm-hmm.
This is a place to see things like that as well too. Age of Empires does make sense because I believe we do generally get information about Age of Empires at this particular showcase.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about Hellblade 2 gameplay again, maybe. That is they are based in that part of the world. It kind of makes sense, to get the hype train behind that. And I don't give a damn where we see Hellblade 2 gameplay at. I'd love to see the combat gameplay. I don't care if it's at Gamescom. I'm okay with that, right? Like I don't care where we see it at. Now, and I'm saying all of this, and we've talked about and had ideas of possibly another direct, right? Another direct maybe in between this and the VGAs. There's rumors about that. So you got to take all of that into consideration too, Pong. So I'm trying to balance.
Yeah.
There's a lot potentially that they could do. I mean, and then we talked about Booty came out and said, 18 months worth of games. So there's a bunch of other stuff that we don't know about. I want to say Gears, but I feel like Gears is just too big for something like
right.
I don't want to be disrespectful to Gamescom, but I think Gears you do Gears on at the showcase.
Correct.
You don't do Gears anywhere else. You do Gears at the showcase. That's what you do, or maybe the VGAs. Maybe you do VGAs. I think is the only other place I think I'd be okay with them debuting Gears stuff at. So other than that, I don't know it. I know Chad had a couple cool ideas. Somebody mentioned Contraband too. That's interesting. Obviously, that's Avalanche, right? Doing that as well too. So we definitely want to see more gameplay on that. I believe that game's been in development at least 2 years now, maybe somewhere around that. So who knows? I mean, Chat has some good ideas down there too, but I think I've settled in on some smaller announcements. Maybe though, the way things are going, they might have something that they pull out of the rabbit's hat. Crossing fingers for a Banjo announcement, but that's really for my guy Ains. He needs that W, but I don't know, Pong. Admittedly, Pong, I don't care. I just love the fact that they're gonna be there. That, you know what I mean? Like their energy's there. Like I love that. And whatever we see is whatever we see. But I just love the fact that they're going to attend this show, and maybe we do get some shit that we weren't expecting.
Right. And I think that's where I'm sitting at. I think that Age of Empires 4, obviously for console, would be a nice announcement there. And it is a good game for that. Age of Empires 4 has been out on PC, right? It's a good announcement. I think announcements like that or smaller games, some smaller projects, maybe we haven't been around, like Roundhouse. We don't know what Roundhouse has been working on. Maybe it's a smaller game as well. Something like that. I could see definitely some smaller surprises there being announced or coming up. I think that actually what could be a real surprise, and it's not going to be a big surprise, but it goes against everything that Todd and his team is about when it comes to their games, but this could be that Xbox influence. This could be that, like, hey, we are making Starfield that system seller right out the gate. playable version of
Oh.
Starfield on the floor. Bro, that would be
Mm.
big to
And
get the
another thing,
public
too,
hands on. Yeah.
maybe
go ahead.
they announce a custom console.
Maybe a custom
Yeah.
console.
Maybe a custom console.
Yep, something like that, for sure. I do feel that there's a little bit extra for this one, and I think that is partly Starfield, but I think they might have something because Europe's a big market, right? It is a big market that they have been behind in for a very long time. It's another place they're trying to make inroads over there, making their presence felt in kind of a bigger way outside of the norm is always a good idea when you're headed over on that side of the world. And they do have studios over there. Again, Rare's over there, obviously Playground's over there. Obviously, who knows? They could have a surprise. In Ninja Theory, they could have a surprise with, Fable showing up as well, right? Mm-hmm. And showing off some more Fable, actually showing some gameplay. Who knows?
Hey, they got that deal with People Can Fly as well.
Yep, they got the deal with People Can Fly, although that sounds like it's really just started.
Far out.
Yeah, just started. But yeah, you just never know. Maybe they got some partnerships that we aren't aware of with some more third parties, right? People Can Fly is different because they had to announce it because it's part of the government in Poland and all that kind of stuff. So maybe there's some other deals that we don't know about with some games coming to Game Pass as well. But yeah, just interesting that Gamescom seems to be getting a little bump in the attention department from Xbox's higher ups this year. So I am curious to see how this plays out. But the end of August, we might get some Christmas gifts. Let's see. So
that's going to be fun. No, that's going to be fun. And I'm glad you actually brought this topic up too, because I had been thinking about Gamescom off and on, and you're right. Like, it traditionally hasn't been the biggest Xbox show, right? It hasn't been the biggest focus, but we do usually get something there. And they usually bring something to the table. If it's at worst case scenario, it's updates, maybe more extended gameplay, new gameplay of stuff that we've already seen. I know somebody in chat mentioned stuff like Towerborn, stuff like that. Like, more stuff like that. I'd love to see more from Towerborn or 33 Immortals and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd love to see more, or maybe they have that stuff playable on the floor at Gamescom, right? Maybe people get a chance to play
that's what I'm saying. That playable stuff on the floor could be the big spot. Like I said, if they got a publicly playable Starfield down there, that would be huge because Todd does not like to do that. Right, Todd? Yeah. Todd does not like that. He wants to launch his game. He wants to give reviewers 2 days, which isn't going to happen this time around, I'm sure. But he'd rather do it that way than show it off prior to. But that close to launch, that would be huge at Gamescom because you get that public reaction. You get people coming out of there. You get the the media being able to play it and give live responses about it. It would be a big hype moment for Starfield to have that on the floor. So maybe.
Jesse Darby in chat said Gears of War collection at Gamescom. He said they can see them doing that as well. So, I mean, you never know.
That could be a spot. Sure,
you never know. People have been asking about that for a very long time. So. Yeah, you never know. But once again, Gamescom it's a great event. I'm just glad that they're going to be there. It does mean something that Phil's going to be there.
Yes.
Like that's not it. That's not nothing, right? No, like I think we can all agree that that's not. He's going to be there in person. So Phil showing up in person, like something's probably going to happen. Like I can't say how big or how if it's going to be some type of earth shattering announcement, but more than likely they got some bullets left in the chamber, and maybe we'll get a breakdown though, Pong. Maybe they'll let us know what the itinerary is.
Yeah, maybe we will.
What studio are people predicting will make Hexen? Is that waiting until ABK, or is that going to be something?
Well, early rumors would be id, right?
Okay.
Id redoing Hexen makes a whole lot of sense, right? To give it the full glow up, like that would bring Hexen back in a. You tag id on Hexen, that would just be gigantic, right? It would be a huge boost to that.
Would that have to wait for the ABK deal though? That's under Activision right now. That's their IP, right?
Well, yeah, but Phil was wearing the Hexen T-shirt, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
They could have cut the deal. They could have cut the deal for the IP from Activision, right? They could still conduct business, right?
That's true.
So
that's true.
It'd be like paying themselves in advance.
Right, exactly. It's like paying yourself, right?
Taking money out of your right pocket, put it in the left pocket, right?
Right.
Kind of thing. Got moving assets. Awesome. But no,
and who knows? Like I said, it could be closed by then, right? So if they don't get the PI, it's potentially that Microsoft's going to close over the top of everybody and call it a day. So
that's true. Yeah. That's true. And that changes the entire outcome of what we could possibly see. Now, quick question before we move on to anything else, because somebody brought it up in chat, and that's why I love chat. You guys are fucking amazing. TGS. I know it's.
Yes.
I don't know. Is Xbox going to be a TGS? I know they are. They're going.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Okay. Any expectations there? I know this is not a main topic or anything, but any expectations there?
I'm gonna keep them lighthearted. I'm gonna say either a Evil Within 3 announcement or whatever other project other than Half-Life or not Half-Life, Hi-Fi Rush.
Wow.
Uh,
Fuzzy, your
as far
brain
as-
tonight is on fire, man. It's like mine. Holy shit.
No, but they're gonna it'll be either Evil Within 3 or maybe a Ghostwire Tokyo 2 or something like that by Tango Gameworks will probably be announced there, or whatever their next project is. I would love for it to be. Oh, and Sega's the next one on the list.
Has there been an official Xbox post about TGS or no?
It was early on. They always go to TGS. It's been a big deal, so I don't.
Okay.
But VGC, TGS themselves put out the list of big names. Yeah, Xbox is on it for sure.
Cool. All right.
Sony's going to be there. Nintendo's going to be there as well.
Yeah.
So, yep.
It'd be nice if they have the Sega partnership. Not necessarily finalized, but take it above and beyond partnership at that point. Basically, put a ring on it after the ABK deal's wrapped up, and maybe they're the next ones on the list.
Fuzzy's like, just get moving.
I'm gonna keep it light. What the fuck?
Yeah, just moving.
Is this light? Really? This is light? Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we already know that they had talks and negotiations going. So
just announce it there.
Yeah.
TGS. Unveil the Xbox Dreamcast, right? Yeah, let's go.
Right? Yeah. Holy shit.
TGS for me, they've got to continue their push, and I think actually we could see some things at TGS as well. Talking about those surgical strikes, right? Those really surgical strikes, not acquisition. I'm not going to go Fuzzy's route here, but what I'm saying is showing up with some deals in place. Because again, we heard that's, the word came out that Sony's starting to flash money in Korea, starting to flash money in China a lot, right? That came out. We know Xbox has been doing those deals. We talked about this last week as well. Xbox has been over there. They've been doing the groundwork. Sarah Bond and her team have been incredible. Obviously, the strengthening partnership with Sega and now Atlas as a part of it, where Atlas is now announcing new IP at Xbox showcases. That's already a big deal, right? I expect to see that continue at TGS. But I want to see some surprises because TGS is no longer just about Japan. Now Korea, China are all involved. The entire eastern part is all involved. So I want to see Xbox show up there. So if you've got some deals in place, that's where you announce them. Even if it is Western, even if it is deals that are going to excite us in the West, region-specific deals for over there is always something that you want to announce in that arena, right? And there's a million different reasons for it, but you specifically for Xbox, they have to continue to push the narrative that they are making inroads over there. So Pearl Abyss deals, if you got a deals with Pearl Abyss, line them up, shoot them off over there. If you can get that deal with Black Myth Wukong, right, and you can guarantee, even if it's not exclusive, but you can guarantee it's going to be Game Pass or you got the marketing rights for it, you announce that at TGS. That will make waves, right? Not just there, but across the world, but specifically in that region. So I think that that's what you see over there, some new partnerships. Obviously, they've got a strengthening partnership with Capcom. Obviously, they've got, a really good relationship with Bandai Namco. So you continue to push those deals and announce new games. Maybe you've got a studio over there or two studios over there to start developing RPGs.
I was going to say, I'd like to see some new blood. Like you said, because this is something that you've always championed on this show. I know we all have to kind of follow in your lead there because there's so much talent down in that region, right? Like not just
it's blowing up, bro.
Yeah, it's hot over there. There's so much talent, so many devs over there. And they have been doing more things down there to really bring in that talent. But I would love to see one or two maybe new IPs. I don't care how big the game is. I just like to see the partnerships being made and them devs trusting Xbox and saying, okay, I will come and make this game for your platform. I don't care if it's exclusive or not. I just, you know what I mean? I like the partnership idea. So
yeah, absolutely. And specifically the RPG sector, right? That's what you want from the Eastern flavor is either that or a Stellar Blade competitor, right? A Devil May Cry, type game with that action genre, which they are also well known for over there with the, the beautiful aesthetics that the East brings to the characters. Something like that, again, will send waves over there. We'll have that ripple effect over there. And like Fuzzy said, Tango Gameworks, there is a rumor that they're making an open world JRPG, right? Or some type of JRPG. And they're actually doing something different than Evil Within, that they are moving into new spaces, right? So if that's the case, give us that splash screen, give us that title.
Hi-Fi Rush
that would be huge.
They can do anything.
Yep.
Listen,
Exactly.
Hi-Fi Rush changed, but I wasn't super familiar with Tango. I'm gonna be honest with you. As great as Evil Within was, I don't play those games a whole lot, and I knew a lot of people loved it, and it kind of had this cult following. But Hi-Fi Rush showed me that they're capable of so much more than what they do. So I'm with you on that. Like, I don't know if is that fact. I don't know how factual is that. That's just a rumor, I assume, right or no?
Yeah, it was a rumor. It was a Reset Era rumor that they were working on a JRPG. The guy or the gal who supposedly started it has had information in the past, so who knows? It's potential again. Decado, if they ever went and convinced Sakaguchi to come back into the game in a big way with Mistwalker and make another RPG for Xbox, yes, that would be gigantic. Again, Sakaguchi is a absolute legend over there and always will be. The fact that he's decided to make smaller games now at this point, fine, I understand it. He's getting up there in age, but if he could come back for one more run and do an epic RPG, a Blue Dragon comeback or whatever he decided to do, Lost Odyssey,
something new, whatever.
If he could, if Xbox could convince him to come back and make a deal with them, that would be gigantic. I'd be all over that. I love Sakaguchi. He is one of the legends. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. And another thing too, I wanted to mention too was Path of the Goddess as well, right? Like that's another thing.
That would be with
that
Capcom.
would be great, right? To see some more gameplay on that game. It looked phenomenal, right? Left field for all of us. No, I had never heard of the game, never heard a leak of that game. I don't think there was. Had that game leaked at all? Had anybody ever heard of Path of the Goddess before we saw it?
No, because
right?
Nope, not at all.
That was a well kept secret, and once again, coming from Capcom, showing and once again, I believe it looked AAA kinda, but it might be AA. Who knows? But maybe we get to see more of that at TGS. Who knows? But I want to see some more partnerships. We can't forget about like Pal World, right? Like we might see that, like Pokemon with Glocks. You never know. But just stuff like that, like the quirky stuff. Whatever happened to fucking Doke V, man?
That's Pearl Abyss, man, right?
I know, but what happened to the game? Tell me what happened.
They said they said it was early in development when they showed it, and they were going to go quiet for a while. If you go on their website, it's still there, right? They're still working on this game, but yeah, Doke V is about time. And again, as crazy as weird as that game was, man, I was hyped. Bro. I was hyped for Doke V. The entire Fun Speculation family was.
It looked like a Pixar movie.
It looked crazy, bro. The graphics didn't look real in the background.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's how real life it looked. It was awesome. Yeah.
So I'd love to see something like that. Like there's all type of stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of talent down there. There's a lot of things they could do with TGS, and I'm super excited. But I had to get that in. I know, Fuzz, we got to throw this over to you to get your topic in too, bro. But take us. Go ahead. Take it over.
All right, this is going to be a small one, and definitely something that should be on your radar. Was it this coming week? ID at Xbox is going to have their Demo Fest. So when you turn on your Xbox, on your dashboard, you should see a link for Demo Fest where it's like, I think it's going to be like 6 or so games or stuff that are going to be accessible for the week. Some of them may continue on after that week, but the assumption is, play it for the week, give feedback to the developers, and then, wait for that game to actually release.
Let me correct you real quick, Fuzzy. 40 demos again.
Oh, 40. I'm sorry. 40.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
Okay, so
just wanted to let you know that. Yeah.
He over there.
They had like 6 up. They had 6 up in the announcement, but it's 40 total demos, and it's always between 30 and 40.
Your hands together over there.
Oh yeah.
You love this stuff, man.
Yeah. So with 40 plus demos, kind of give each one of them a try. Give feedback to the devs. I'm pretty sure if it's anything like when they had this kind of around E3 last year, I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least a handful of them that you'll enjoy or be looking forward to when they release. But as far as things like this, where the Xbox and even Steam for that matter has early access, and now I guess PlayStation Plus has like the demos for some games. But when it comes to these like smaller games or early in development games, how do you guys feel as far as like with demos or early access? Are you for it, against it, or Are there more things you would
Good
like to
question.
see like this, as far as rolled into the ecosystem multiple times a year kind of thing? We'll start with you, Paul.
Yeah, no, I'm all for this, right? I'm all for demos. I'm all for early access. PC, look, you got access to, I don't know, it's got to be thousands of games, early access or demos, right? I think that the console should embrace that more. I think it's a great way to get, especially in the indie scene, it's a great way to get the devs some extra acknowledgement and to get people excited for a game that maybe they weren't even excited about. It gives those indie devs a chance to get some feedback from the community early in development, so that they can take some of that to heart. And maybe there's some things that the community actually stands up that make a lot of sense to the developer, and yeah, they can improve that before the game comes out, which gives them a better chance of success. Again, that's why you see it so much on PC, right? It's just a given over on PC. Indie devs love putting their games out early, right, and letting the community help build them. Like it's a part of the entire culture there. So I think that Xbox has done obviously a fantastic job of promoting ID at Xbox and making sure that demos do get out. I want to see them do it more. I think this is a great opportunity. Again, I was just looking through the small list that they showed. Demon School. I had no idea what this is. This is from Nextros Games and Yizbird Games, an RPG with tactical elements and spooky horror vibe. Demon School, right? Oh, okay. It's got Eastern anime style to the title screen here. I want to try this game out, right? I'm going to try that game out. Sea of Stars, which is already going to be a highly successful game, but the fact that I get to go try that game out and see how good it is to feel in my hands prior to it launching
about that game
is,
as well.
oh yeah, Sea of Stars is going to be fantastic, bro. Classic RPG turn-based. Oh my god, it's beautiful too. The pixel art in it is just absolutely stunning. Wandering Village, that city building game that you're building a city on the back of a giant wandering monster that's going through the world. Like, yeah, I want to be able to try this stuff. So yeah, Fuzz, I'm all on board with this type of program, and I do want to see Xbox moving forward, continue to push this and to do more in this area, and allow, even outside of ID at Xbox showcases, allow smaller devs especially, or any devs that want to put out those demos, to have easy access to do so on their store, and make it a friendly place, much like PC, where everybody is welcome to put up their demos, put up their early access, and let gamers try it, get it in their hands, and see what the game's all about. And if they can give some positive, some criticism, positive criticism to the devs to help them build the game and make it better before launch, all the more power. Like, I'm all for that 100%. I love this program. I would love to see more of it.
Nice.
So before you go over, we got somebody snuck in the back door here. I sent out the bat signal, so we got Mav. Mav popped in here.
Hey, I'm gonna be seeing a lot of this, man. What's going on?
Oh yeah, what's up, Mav? How you doing, brother?
Great, man. Have y'all ever had just a meal and you get this food all the time or whatever, but inexplicably it just slaps harder than it ever has before in your entire life?
I heard you talking about the Popeyes right in chat.
Man, this was like the best Popeyes. It was like,
I thought you were just eating your upgraded ramens.
No, it's like it came from the corporate kitchen itself. It was a taste tester, so it was fantastic, man. Wow. Oh my god. Ain't no chicken like Popeyes, baby.
Welcome to the food channel, everybody. Mav's here. Let's go.
Yeah. Right. No, but if you want to, Mav, you want to jump in on this? I know I was go ahead and enlighten him, Fuzz. What we?
Yeah. Next week we're gonna have, or Xbox is gonna have the ID at Xbox, Demos Fest, where there's going to be like 40 titles in there throughout the week. Some of them may get renewed after the week, but the general consensus is expect them to only be there for a week. Give them a try, play them, possibly give the devs some feedback, constructive criticism and stuff. But how do you feel about these types of things where like Steam has early access? We have Demo Fest on Xbox, and I think even PlayStation Premium or whatever has like access to demos and things like that. Are you more for it, more against it, or would prefer to have it multiple times a year kind of thing? What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Pong said he's all for it, right?
Yeah.
Of course I did, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate it. It's so stupid. These little dumb demos for all these games nobody cares about. I mean, come on. What are we
Oh,
doing?
messy.
It's just
God.
wasting everybody's time. Got to try out 40 games. Who has time for that? I mean, come on.
That is not the answer I expected.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
Yeah. No, it's cool, man. There's been games like that, you know, that you just try and it's like all of a sudden, oh, this is pretty cool, and it gets on your radar, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm down for that. Game previews is a great thing as well. Games have been extremely successful using those programs, either Steam Early Access or Game Preview on Xbox, especially. The demos is like, we used to get so many back in the day. I remember like even buying magazines just because
Demo
they had
discs.
demo disc. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was always a thing in the past. Now it's kind of it's not done as much anymore, you know, as far as demos. That was a thing that was really thriving in the 360 era.
Yep.
But as far as demos, I don't really ever play them anymore, to be honest with you. Like, I don't usually download too many. Now, if one specifically comes out, then I'm like, okay, I'm curious about that. I'm on the fence on it. I'm more than likely going to do it, or really early demos for stuff that's like on the horizon. But what I really love is the game preview and Steam Early Access stuff, because it gives it gives developers another way of being able to fund their games, right? So that one especially, because you had games like Grounded that became what it became because of game preview. You have another game that's coming out that's going to launch this year, and Baldur's Gate 3 that's been in Steam Early Access for a couple of years.
3 years. Jeez.
And it's been able to achieve what they want to achieve because of that as well. Arc is another hugely successful story.
Star Citizen, right?
Game preview. Star Citizen, you know, that's I almost Star Citizen is like,
They've raised 500 million, so you got to say it just a second.
Star Citizen for me would be
God
like,
damn! See, I take that back. I take what I said back. Yeah, never mind.
Star Citizen for me would be like what I would worry about happening with some of those types of things, right? Like,
holy moly.
Okay, fund a game forever and never finish it type deal, and it never gets great because it's always going to be janky and stuff like that, you know. Like, so, I'm all for that, man. I know that a lot of people like to play all those demos from the ID at Xbox program, and I kind of let them kind of talk about people talk about it, and it kind of will highlight the ones that I should have on my radar. Then I'll try those ones. You know?
Arcade Paradise.
Hey,
Yes, exactly. I'll let Pong try out each one of them out.
Right?
And then let me know what I
Because
should
you know
play.
Pong is going to. We got a filter. We got a built-in. Why do I need to go do the work when I know Pong is going to do it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
I'm like the
I don't
Google
need
of
to-
demos. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't
Game
need to
Pass.
do it.
Okay.
So
Who knew? I would
The
love
grays
to
are
make a game
extraordinaire.
Where I primarily am just doing laundry.
Yeah, Arcade Paradise. He definitely sold us on that one.
Yeah, that was a fantastic game, though. You know,
Matt was out here selling it today on Go Live, so hey,
Yeah.
he did a great job.
I love
Yeah.
that. Love that.
Nice.
I was trying to channel my inner Pong soul there. But yeah, it was a fantastic game. I am more blown away with Arcade Paradise just on how polished it is, and the like it's super smooth, and the graphics are really good too. It is a little weird when you get close to the people, and all of a sudden they
they
turn
blur
into
out
like
and they turn
pixelated,
out. Yes,
weird
it's
things.
awesome. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's kind of interesting, but I've never seen that before. But yeah, it's an awesome game, man.
I'll check it out now. See, goddamn you, Pong. Every time, man. Every time, bro.
Yeah, one
Every
thing
damn
too is
time.
like, speaking of Game Pass, like you can kind of use Game Pass as almost like the same thing as that people used to use for demos.
Yes.
You know,
Correct.
Yeah,
In
true,
a lot of ways
true,
it
yep.
is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially
so
when
you
you
get
can
to
do
play
the
the whole
cloud play.
The
You
cloud-
don't even
the
have to
cloud
download
play,
it to
yep.
the hard drive.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
can just test it out and be like, oh, well,
Is this
yeah,
worth
I better make
installing?
space for this, or
right?
you know, just move on from it, kind of thing. Very true.
Sure.
Very true.
Sappho, don't ask common sense questions, okay? Okay, you earn extra money by washing other people's clothes, all right? Some people don't want to sit there and wash their clothes, so they drop it off for you. You wash it,
Come
you
on
get extra
now.
money out of it, all right? It just works. As Todd Howard said, it just
Wow.
works.
While we sit here and order DoorDash, right? Like, come on
Right.
now.
Right.
No, but
So
go ahead.
PTK, what are your thoughts as far as like with the early access and Game Fest demos and things like that? Are you for them, against them? Like to see them more often? What are your thoughts?
I am 100% for these things. I share in the same sentiment as Pong and Mav because this is the perfect reason why all those people that worry about consolidation and all this stuff going away, shut the hell up, please. Because every time we have these events, this highlights all these developers, these new dev teams coming up in the industry that are coming up trying to fill the gaps in the industry that they always do, that these smaller titles do. So, and I love the idea of being able to play these games in multiple different ways early, whether it's a beta, whether it's a demo, whether it's in preview on Xbox or PlayStation or Steam. That's such a great idea. And Mav, you brought up a great point. This is another way to make money while you're still continuing to build the game, right? Otherwise, a lot of these games wouldn't make it on their own. Like that, you got to think about that too, right? More ways to get these games in front of people and more ways to keep the games in front of people while they're still being fixed, like while they're still being made. Like that's a key feature as well too, because you put out a demo, maybe the game isn't what it was. Like Grounded, you wouldn't even recognize Grounded when it was put out compared to it now. I think we can all agree, Mav, Pong, Grounded is almost a completely different game. You guys remember when Grounded first dropped in preview?
I tried it.
It's a completely different game right now. Like it's not even the same game. So, and you can thank the preview program for that, right? So you got things like Grounded, you got a bunch of other games that you see this success and you want to keep that going. And once again, it's just a consumer friendly thing to do, right? Like we're used to these. We're a little older, and Mav brought up this great point that we're used to the demos. We used to get them in the electronic gaming monthlies and the Game Pro magazines and all these other magazines that we used to get the disc for. But so I'm 100% for this, right? More ways for us to play, more ways for us to give our opinion, about these games, and devs to make the games better if they can use us as quality control. You don't have any reason to complain if you're part of the preview program, right? Because you're essentially demoing the beta and you can give direct feedback on the game. So that's also another thing you got to think about too. But yeah, I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it.
Nice. The one thing I would add, because all of you, great thoughts on this and everything. The one thing I would like to see Microsoft do is have kind of something closer to what Steam does on the early access. Like they already have early access as far as like for a lot of the console games, but I'd like to see them show a little bit more love to the, I guess, PC side of things. If they're going to grow that into the business, they definitely need to offer similar, early access games as well. I don't know if they have more quality control consideration for PC on that end of things, but it seems like there's a handful of games that would be a nice fit for somebody to be able to try out via Microsoft or the Microsoft Store or PC Game Pass or something like that in comparison, if they didn't want to use Steam for whatever reason. But yeah, awesome thoughts on this. And for everybody in the chat, definitely check out your dashboard next week. I think it's the 11th through the 17th. A lot of these games are going to be up there, and just find something that catches your eye, play it, try it out, try a few of them.
Give feedback too. Give feedback as well.
Yeah, definitely give the devs feedback, because that can actually help them make the game closer to what you're either expecting or looking forward to, or things along those lines. But that's all I got. Thanks, guys, for your feedback.
No problem. And I kind of wanted to. I'm glad we still got a little bit of time left in the show too, because I kind of wanted to get into this too. I'm stealing this from you, Mav, a little bit. Shout out to FSP, but I want to get into kind of a year in review of 2023 so far, because I know the year is not over, and we're going to do this again in probably 3-4 months or whatever. But we've kind of reached this point in 2023. We've had some highs. We've had some extremely high highs. We've had some very, very, very low lows. Especially if you're on the Xbox side of things. But I just want to get you guys' opinion, and we'll start with you, Mav, on this. We're in pretty much July now, July 8th at this point. We're, a little bit over halfway through the year. Where are you at with 2023? Has it lived up to your personal expectations of what you thought this year was going to be?
I mean, it's exceeded them in a lot of ways. Some ways it's disappointed slightly, but not with the releases. It's more about certain things that have happened with reverting back to 30 frames for
Yeah.
whatever reason, on the biggest games, right? But that's like one little asterisk you can put on the year because there's been so many damn good games already, but the thing is that's crazy is the ones I'm most excited about and have been most excited about are all the second half. And when me and Pong were going through the list on Thursday, we forgot how many there were. It's just absolutely insane this year. But we've already had so many great ones. We've had surprises like Hi-Fi Rush and a game that all of us thought we were gonna love anyway, Diablo, and it's lived up to the hype. I think it's got some problems, for in-game stuff, but season 1's rolling around the corner, and there's just no lack of anything to play. It's 2022 is kind of rough for third parties and for Xbox, and 2023 has delivered in spades across the board. So it's been fantastic, man. I so far my game of the year is Diablo.
Yes. Okay.
Starfield will probably topple that. But then we still also, the interesting thing about the second half of the year, even where we have all of these other games these big ones that we're looking forward to, the second half of the year is also where we get all the annual release big games that come out as well. And I love a lot of those. You got
Call of Duty,
Madden and NBA and all that kind of crap. It's like I still play a lot of those games, right? And I love them. So those combined with all the other things we got coming out, like we just saw the Mortal Kombat trailer again. And my God, that game looks amazing. So 2023's exceeded expectations. Only asterisk I have is Jedi Survivor's performance mode is lackluster. You have the Final Fantasy 16's performance mode is kind of crap as well. Things like that. Some games are launching with a lot of issues here and there. But besides that, it's been amazing, man. And there's actually been, besides those couple of games, which I'm targeting like the biggest releases so far. This honestly for 2023, we've seen more polished releases.
True.
Than in other years also. So overall, it's been a positive, right?
Yeah.
But there's some asterisk in there with some of these big releases. I get passes for that stuff for some reason. But there's also been other surprises too, like just random games that come out that are like, wow, this is surprisingly awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been an amazing year so far.
I agree with you, and we've talked about this, and I've already put the tweet out there. I think it's going to go down as probably the greatest year in video game history, at least in my lifetime. And I know that's subjective, right, man? We all have a different list, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that looks different for everybody. But in my opinion, if you want to look at from consistency, from quality, yes, there's been some bumps and ups and downs. You got your red falls and things. And then, like you said, you got some issues with the 30 FPS and some things not coming, into the standard that we thought they would. But other than that, man, it's been a phenomenal year. The output of games, not just the games, the type of games, the size of games, the quality of the games that we're getting. We're getting game, not that I'll cite Metacritic or anything, but we're getting super high level games like almost every month, right? Like we're getting something almost crazy. So it's, you combine all of that, then you throw in, like you said, you still got your third party stuff, the stuff that you get annually, your Call of Duties, your Maddens, those are always things to look forward to. This is 2023 is a complete year, and we're not even done yet, man. Like you said, Starfield's not out yet. Spider-Man 2 is not out yet. Yeah. Like we haven't gotten these games in our hands to really, play and see what these games are about. So at this point, it almost can only get better if those games are even 80% of what we think they're gonna be. Like it's only gonna get even better, in my opinion.
Yeah, and there's games too that not a lot of people were even talking about last year that we already knew was coming out, but have generated more hype. And namely, one is Baldur's Gate 3 coming around the corner.
Yeah.
And like, I was already excited about that game for a long time, but the more people are seeing about it leading up to launch,
it looks insane,
the official
Mav.
launch,
I don't play those games, incredible. Mav, but that sounds crazy. Like I was that Twitter post they put out, Mav, and Pong, swear to God, like I don't play those games at all, but it sounds like that genre that game was going to be like an Elden Ring type jump. And Mav, maybe you play these games. I know Pong already got his shit off on it, but Mav, you could let me know, is that about right? It sounds like.
Yeah, this is for people like me and Pong, that love CRPGs. This game is potentially like a dream come true for that genre. Like to see this much effort and budget put into a game of this genre doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen this in a really long time. Back in the day, this was a popular type of game on PC. You had that's why it's called CRPG. Yeah, it's computer RPG, right? Like, you had games like Baldur's Gate and the Neverwinter Nights and stuff like that. And you had like Planescape Torment and all these different ones, right? Shadowrun's sort of in that genre a little bit. Like a lot of games like that, but it kind of is a franchise, a genre that's kind of died down and become like a niche.
Yeah.
So we've had games like Pillars of Eternity come out that have kind of reignited it a little bit. You've had games like Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 by Larian, and they've really kind of propped up that genre and done a great job between PC and console with those Divinity games. And this is a great
Obsidian in an Exile, right? With Wasteland, like they
yes,
kept the
Wasteland
CRPGs.
is a great one.
Yes, CRPGs kept going because of
Wasteland,
those companies, right? So,
in Exile specifically, because Wasteland 3 is one they put a lot of effort into, and it was a huge jump from Wasteland 2.
Right.
So Wasteland 3 is a good call out there. And when you see like those companies kind of trying to keep those genres alive, like they still haven't put one out that's had this kind of attention and budget and long term development cycle put into it like this has. So man, it's seeing everything that they're putting into this game and everything that's going to have. It brings to my teenager days of when I was playing games like this and just absolutely in love with them. So I can't wait to dive into this game also. I mean, I play it on my PC, even if it's not going to be the best experience or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm going to love it.
All right. So let's throw this over to you, Pong, and just kind of get your opinion. Once again, we've talked about 2023, and we talked about this last year before we even got to 2023, that everything was lining up on the calendar. If everything hit right, you kept reiterating that point. Everything just has to hit where it needs to be. Thus far, there's been some low points. You got to Red Falls and a couple things here and there. But by and large, Pong, this year has been phenomenal. It's been unlike any other year we've had up until this point. Like I said, I put it out there. In my opinion, it's been the best year, and it will finish as probably the greatest overall year in gaming that I've ever seen, in my opinion. So where are you at as far as 2023 up to this point?
Falls right in line with golden age of gaming, right? And this is why I say it, because you can look back at other years, obviously, and the GOAT years are GOATs for a reason, with multiple big titles, and especially 360 generation, right? Mass Effect, BioShock year, right? 2007 or whatever it was. Those were huge years because those were new IP as well coming out that exploded on the scene that nobody expected to happen. But we haven't had this moment in time for quite a while. We've had great years. Don't get me wrong. There's been really great years, but we're talking about not only just the big hitters showing up and doing what they needed to do and hit home runs out of the park, but we're talking about those in-between games. We're talking about all different genres being represented at the top of the food chain right now, which doesn't happen all the time. You're talking about the double A's showing up with absolute 100% quality and getting a ton of attention on top of it. That's what makes this year extra special. And the way that it's going to finish out, at least on paper, is even better than the first half of the year. So you are spot on, and it's something that we talked about because Mav and I were going through the second half of the year, and it's absolutely insane. Like, we couldn't believe it. We didn't.
September and October are retarded. It doesn't even make any sense.
No, we were just covering the big stuff, and then you look at other stuff. Like, it's crazy, but that's what this year has represented. So all the big players are showing up this year and really hitting home runs, but then you've got all the other representation there from the double A's, and we've still got games like Remnant 2, we got games like Atlas Fallen, we got games like Immortals of Avian coming out, right? We got games like Armored Core 6, a genre that nobody expected to come back from Software, now at the peak of their dev making abilities, right? We got all this kind of mixing together, the return of fighting genre this year as well, with Street Fighter knocking it out of the park for the Street
Tekken's
Fighter
coming
fans.
out too.
Tekken could potentially hit this year. If that does, oh my God. It's still not confirmed, but we'll see. But again, Mortal Kombat 1 looks like that's going to be ridiculously big yet again for Mortal Kombat. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody's doing exactly what they needed to do. And it's a culmination of a couple different things, right? It's a culmination of obviously the pandemic pushing things back, right? Delays, right? So a lot of the stuff that was supposed to come out over the past 2 years is showing up all in 2023. And we're going to see some of that carry over into 2024 now as well. But all of that happening right now in this moment is the perfect kind of storm that you just don't get all the time. And if Starfield drops the way we think it is going to, if Spider-Man 2 hits like we know it's probably going to hit, then you've got Nintendo showing up not only with obviously Tears of the Kingdom, but now you've got a brand new 2D Mario game and Mario Wonder coming out.
Crazy.
You've got Super Mario RPG getting a remake that looks absolutely freaking so cool. Again, this is the stuff that we didn't even know about, right? Coming into this year that is now showing up at the end of the year. All of that makes this a special year. So no, it started off, Mav, did great with his thoughts. And again, something we talked about on Thursday night already. The first half of this year really did. Yes, there was some low points. Yes, like Mav said, there are some asterisks. We've seen the return of 30 frames, which a lot of us weren't expecting with this current gen consoles, which has caused some consternation, a lot of discussion. But the reason why those games are being discussed too is because they're so damn good, right? And we've seen a lot of forgiveness on the critics' parts, right, as well this year for some games, because the games themselves have been so good, the critics have overlooked some of their failings. Not to say that that's an excuse, and we've talked about it at length, and there's certainly some criticism to be had for the publishers and devs there putting out unfinished games, but overall the quality of games has been much better this year. We had a lot more issues during the pandemic with people trying to finish games away from the office, and still people are working from home, but now they're used to it. Now the systems are in place to make that a much easier process, where during the pandemic it was all new to a lot of people, and we could see it in some of the games that were getting pushed out the door at the end there. The Battlefields and that kind of stuff showed up, right? So this year is going to go down, I believe, as the GOAT of all time. I think the second half of this year, again, with Baldur's Gate 3 now added to my Starfield dilemma, I've got so many games are going to be pushed to 2024 for me. It's stupid. Like there's so many games that I'm going to be waiting on to play in 2024, and then 2024 is already starting to build as another great year. So I'm excited, man. But this year has started off hot. It's going to finish absolutely an inferno by the time it's all said and done in December. The Game Awards this year is going to be crazy. Like we talked about that coming into this year, like Keeley was going to have a tough time whittling this field down, and that was just from what we knew about. Now that things are all hitting in line, now you got games like Baldur's Gate 3 showing up and stuff. It's going to get even more crazy on how they're going to try to get this down to, that top 5, top 6 game list, because there's so many deserving games in here. Even the remakes coming out are hitting it out of the park. Dead Space, Resident Evil 4, just absolutely crushing. Again, this is the golden age, folks. There's no better time. No matter where you're playing right now, there are multiple great games out there to play right now, on top of all the other stuff you could actually dive into and have a great time with. So what a year.
Oh, absolutely. I share the same sentiment, man. It's easily 20. And I guess I'll go ahead and give my opinion before we get to Fuzz here to wrap things up here before the end of the show here. So yeah, 2023 has been amazing. Like you said, there's been a couple small things here. And like I said, I'm real lighthearted when it comes to this stuff. I'm not as hardcore as some people. I'm not as judgy as some people. And this is all subjective anyway, right? So at the end of the day, our lists are all going to be different. But yeah, easily 2023, the most complete year of gaming that I've ever seen. And this is on all platforms. I want to make sure we're clear about this. We're all eating good here, Pong. So I know
Yep.
we're all represented very well, and that's the unusual part as well too, Pong. That doesn't happen as often as
Correct.
people think it does.
Correct.
It's usually Nintendo eats a year or two, PlayStation
Yep.
eats a year, then Xbox here and there, but
All
everybody's
platforms,
eating,
all genres,
all
right?
genres too. You got
Yes.
the resurgence
Yep.
of certain platforms that just have been dormant, like Mav just mentioned, CRPGs. Where the hell have they been?
RTSs, CRPGs.
RTSs,
Yep.
fighting games.
Yep.
These genres have all been platformers, Metroidvania games, ARPGs. Look at Diablo. It's gonna sell 20, 30 million copies probably in another year or two. Like, you got all these games hitting, then you still got all your mainstream stuff. Your Fortnite still getting huge. You got your Call of Duty still coming out. Your Maddens, your 2Ks. Man, everybody's eating well, man. Like you said, you got your in between stuff. The indies is a little bit out there for everybody. I've never been in a year this complete. Like, if Diablo wasn't as good as it is, I wouldn't know what to play. I'd have an issue, but luckily Diablo kind of makes it easy for me. But yeah, I'm 100% in with you guys on that one too. So Buzz, go ahead and wrap this up for us, brother.
2023 is pretty much the year of my backlog. Like, if I didn't have enough games left over from 2022 that I still continue to play, 2023 is just making it that much more difficult in the grand scheme of things. But that's a good problem to have, I guess, for the most part. Just trying to squeeze in different games before other bigger games come out. And, me being the racing fan that I am, I'm still playing, Forza Horizon 5. I'm still playing Gran Turismo, but the main one that I'm looking forward to comes out in October, which, Forza Motorsport. Really can't wait to get my hands on that, and trying to determine whether I continue to play that on console or if I, push that over to PC, because I think this is going to be like a no life situation where I put the wheel and the racing seat and all that stuff back together. Like, I just have the wheel stand right now. I used to have like a whole seat set up before and then got rid of it because of space. But yeah, I think I'm going to wind up going overboard again. But Starfield is going to be another one of those games where you can make it either a Star Trek simulator or a Star Wars simulator, considering there's force power like things going on. So that's going to be a time sink for me as well. And Diablo's already got a bunch of my time wrapped up in it. There's just so much coming out this year, and I would say the biggest problem now is, do you buy everything day one, or do you buy what you'll actually get to play day one, and then all the other stuff wait for the sale? Because like, this Steam sale is probably killing my wallet now as it is. So I can only imagine, like, around the holidays when you get the 2-for-1, if you buy the physical copies, or 30, 40, 50% off on some of the digital copies during the holidays. This is above and beyond the year of gaming, the golden age of gaming, like Pong said. Yeah, you should have made a T-shirt, man. Seriously, where's the T-shirt? I want to be able to wear it while I'm gaming. But no, seriously, this is got to be, at least in recent memory, one of the biggest years. Like, I mean, when you first get introduced to gaming, when you're a little guy and you got a console or a controller in hand, or maybe you started on PC kind of thing, that was huge. And it's like, every year after that kind of gets better, but there were some bigger years. Like 2007 was a pretty big year, but I think this will definitely go in the history books as one of the biggest years. And until there's a bigger year, which 2024 or 2025 could very well be that. But the way it stands right now for 2023, I'm above and beyond satisfied and happy with the outcome so far. With things on the horizon, yeah. The asterisks, more games are still releasing day one patches and still buggy afterwards, but there have been a good handful of those that have come out polished, even from devs that you weren't expecting when they've changed hands 3 or 4 times. What was that, Dead Island 2 in development hell for like 9 years or something, or 7, at least 7 years, and
came out as one of the most polished.
Yeah, so there's definitely hope. But man, I think the big thing is, will 2024 or will 2025 top it? There is that potential. And, COVID kind of made this year, the not really the end all be all year, but it definitely pushed some things in the way of other games, and other games have tried to move out of the way of other games and wound up in bigger way of other games. So yeah, this is an awesome year. And, hopefully these devs out here for all platforms keep this up. I like this pace. My wallet may not like it, but yeah, I'm getting a kick out of this.
No, absolutely. 100%, Chad. And let us know, too. 2023 has been an amazing year. 24 is shaping up to be an amazing year as well, too. We're eating really good. Like Pong has always said, we're in a golden age of gaming, people. It is so self-evident. You got to be blind not to see that, man. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show on that note. But shout out to everybody who did come out and watch it. Shout out to Chad. You guys were freaking amazing. Shout out to our unexpected guest, Mav, popping up on us. Appreciate you, brother, always coming through, even late notice, last minute, man. But before we even go officially, obviously I'm gonna let my peoples talk. So Mav, appreciate you popping up. Like I said, bro, always love to have you here, even for a short period of time, whatever the case may be. But you're a family, FSP love all the way. Shout out to Caitlin, Psycho, Jasper, everybody over there, 3-bit at FSP. My two brothers here as well, too. But, Mav, let everybody know where they can find you. And congratulations as well, too. I do want to say something, people. I got to say something here, Mav. I got to give you your flowers. The growth on PM to PM, all the shows, bro, has been phenomenal. So shout out to you and everybody over at FSP. Pong, you too as well, too, brother. You guys are fucking killing it. And I'm a big fan of you guys, too. So just continue doing what you're doing. But I got to make sure I give you your flowers, Mav. You're awesome, bro. You're an amazing host. You do a damn good job juggling everything over there.
Dude, PTK, coming from you, that's high praise, my friend. Appreciate it. And the same to you, man. It's awesome to see what's going on with your channel. And I love your show. And I say that every time because I actually do. And I am a little biased to your amazing panel as well. They're great, but you do a great job as well. So, but if you guys want to check it out, just check out Fun Speculation on YouTube. We got shows on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And maybe you'll see me somewhere tomorrow with Pong Soul as well, and another show. I'll let him tell you about that. If it's been has it been announced? Pong?
It hasn't been announced. I talked about it on Living Split Screen this morning, though. But
okay, fair enough.
So, anyways,
right on. Yeah, thanks, BTK. You're awesome.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate having you here. Like I said, either way, man, you guys go check Mav out. You guys know who he is. If you don't, please go show some love. I'll make sure I put everything down in the description here. I got to go back and edit some things, but shout out to you for hanging out with us, man. But let me go and throw this over to my two right-hand men, my brothers here as well, too. We're going to start with you, Mr. Pong. So another show in the books, man. Hopefully next time we do this next week, we got some big news to talk about. So we'll see, right?
Yeah, we should have some big news next week, one way or the other. Definitely
either way, right?
Decision.
Either way.
No, it'll be big either way, right? The ripple effects will be felt immediately either way. So next week is going to be a big week of podcasting for sure, because we should get that decision from Judge Corley next week. Some people are expecting Monday, Tuesday at the latest, just because of the time frame. She understands that it's going to be a complete decision. Now, whether or not we see the specifics, that's another thing, but we will know the upfront decision for sure. So lots of conversation next week. Buckle up, get ready for that. But yeah, what a great show, brothers. Awesome to have Mav jump in here and join us as well, as always. I love, obviously having him a part of the show. Anytime I get to work with him, which is often now. So, but no, PTK, Fuzzy, love you both, brothers. Great to end my Saturday night, as always, here. Chat, you guys were absolutely incredible tonight. Lots of good conversation in there as well. Again, even on a slower news week, still some good topics, some good talk happening here. So thank you all for being here. Nothing but love and respect. If you're lurking, same goes to you. You're still a part of the show, whether you're here chatting or listening in the future or lurking, it doesn't matter. So thank you all for that. Again, Pong Soul Xbox, Pong Soul on Twitter. I did, like I said at the beginning of the show, sign up for Threads just to save my name. I don't know how much I'm going to be using it, but I am over there. So if you guys have moved over, feel free to follow me and I will follow you back. Otherwise, like Mav said, a little extra dose of PM in the PM. I don't think he's going to mind too much, Mav. But we are going to be on GTL, Games Talk Live with Fonz tomorrow. That's right. Both of us are showing up there. So it's going to be PM in the PM with the Fonz. So it's going to be good times over there. That starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock o'clock Central Time. Be there for that one. Good conversations to be had. Next week, you know the drill. Xbox Factor on Tuesdays. Double Barrel Gaming's the channel. Mr. Boomstick is the man. All good things green every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. Always has an awesome panel. Will always have a special place in my heart, even though I'm not really on panel anymore, but I'm still part of this show. And then Thursdays, it's PM in the PM. It's Pong and Mav every Thursday night over on Fun Speculation Channel. We get down to business again next week. Going to be probably a whole lot of ABK talk no matter what the decision is. So join us there, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time. Like you said, PTK, growing a big audience over there on PM and the PM. Mav and I absolutely love it. Our chat is absolutely flying. Great discussions. So join us there. And then Friday nights, it's Xbox Ultimate, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. Another great show last night. We laughed a lot, talked a lot of gaming news. Always join up. You never know what you're going to hear on that one. So it's always a great time. That is Friday nights, and then Saturday mornings, you know, it's living split screen. Split screen's all one word. My brother from another Steel, Rain, and I get your weekend started right. We went for almost 5 hours today. We went for over 4.5. It was a great show. We had a short show cut short last weekend, so it was nice to catch up with Steel. 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, living split screen. Every Saturday morning, be there, tell a friend, bring a friend. We broke 900 subs. We are on our way to 1,000. So love to see you all. Come check us out there every Saturday morning. And then, God willing, I'll be back here next Saturday night for the Shop Podcast yet again with two of my favorite people in the whole wide world, PTK Blam and Fuzzy Belvedere. It's Golden Age of Gaming, people. Please get out there, enjoy the rest of your weekend, play what you love what you play, and I'm going to talk to you all real soon. Thanks, PTK.
Awesome, man. Shout out to you, Pong. Once again, go follow Pong on Twitter, the easiest way to keep up with everything he has going on, man. So appreciate you here, the battery of the Shop Podcast, man. So we throwing this over to you, Mr. Fuzzy Belvedere. Appreciate you, brother. I know you got a lot going on too, man, but yeah, man, another great show in the books, bro, but let everybody know where they can find you.
Oh, always awesome being on here with you guys, and always awesome having Mav join us as well. Love doing this, podcast and stuff. It's pretty much my secondary hobby other than gaming. So it's so much fun talking with you guys, just chatting it up and everything. But for those that want to hear my endless rambles and rants on anything gaming related, just follow me on Twitter or any of the social media platforms of your choosing at Fuzzy_Belvedere or just Fuzzy Belvedere, all one word. You can also find me on the Xbox Lunch Break Special at 12 noon on Monday on Double Barrel Gaming with Mr. Boomstick XL, Crazy Louie, and Web Dave. And then later on that evening on FSP on Fun Speculation channel at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then look forward to seeing you guys here for the Shop Podcast next Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on this channel. Look forward to seeing you there.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Appreciate you, Fuzz, every single week coming through. And last but not least, your boy PTK Blam, the host here of the Shop Podcast. Follow me everywhere, PTK Blam, on Twitter especially. Once again, DMs are open. Hit me up if you guys have ideas for the show, for the poll, guests, any of that cool stuff, man. I love the engagement, so hit me up. DMs are always open. Add me on Xbox Live. You want to play some Diablo, whatever the case may be. Hit me up there, PTK Blam as well too. But man, another phenomenal show. Next week we should have some stuff to talk about, I suspect, fellas. So whether, like I said, in either direction, we'll definitely have some shit to talk about for sure. So I will see you guys there. We will have a guest next week for sure. So yeah, tune in, man. And once again, if you're new here, subscribe, like the channel, and once again, leave comments as well too. I love the feedback, whether it's good or bad, the criticism, whatever the case may be. I take it all in stride. But peace out, everybody. Enjoy your Saturday night. Have a great weekend, man. See you guys next week. Peace out.
Bye.
Later.